Now, having looked at the March-June 2023 examiner report, section A, let me show you this now. When I shared that report with you, this is how the report looks like. 4 questions from section A, we've answered them. Friends, these 5 questions from section B are all based on CVP analysis. Yesterday, on revision day 4, you and I worked a full section C question, Co on CVP analysis. Please answer these questions also. The examining team take time to explain points to you. Section C, there is vegan, which I answered with you, and there's Trotco, which is in the plan, but we have not yet done. So I'll share this with you. And the questions I've just answered with you, the explanations of the answers are all here. All right. Go back to about 4 or 5 past exams. Review all the examiner reports before you go into your exams. Now, I've already assigned to myself PM practice exam 1. Start exam. I would expect that you make some time, create 54 minutes, whatever time of the day that is possible for you, and answer the section A questions here. Get the system to mark for you and see how well or not you have done. That score is not really a true reflection of what will happen in the exams, but it helps the process. Let me navigate to, what's it, question number.
So we are not seeing what you are doing.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for the feedback. All right, thank you for the feedback. I actually just opened, wow. Okay, let me just spend 1 minute to tell you what I was saying, that you were not seeing the screen. No, you were, okay. I was talking to you about examiner reports. And I said to you that this is how the examiner report looks like. Thank you for that feedback. I'll share this with 4 other examiner reports with you. You and I have gone through the 4 section A questions that proved to be difficult around the world. Probably, if you look at the report, the details, you learn more than what I have told you this morning. Section B question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they are all based on CVP analysis. And you and I did a section C question on CVP analysis yesterday. Use these objective test case questions to reinforce that knowledge. That exam also had vegan co. I did vegan co with you on revision day 1. Trotco is on performance measurement. It's in the plan, but we've not done it yet. We will definitely do it. So you look through this report and then go through step by step. The examiner tells you why something is not correct, why something is correct, why something is not true, why something is true. The calculation of the numbers, it builds up for you gradually. And sometimes tells you what people did wrong to get wrong answers typed in or chosen. All right. Now, I am going with you to practice exam 1, which I've already assigned to myself. I've opened it already, and I'm going to, that was question number 32, the second question, published as 33 and 34. No, published as 32, 33, 34. All right. Okay. You are told that this scenario relates to 5 requirements. Oh, I think I need to still go back to my Microsoft Excel because I've got to share that file with you so you can look in it. Let me open that as quickly as I can. I named it PM. How did I name that? In the revision folder. PM September 2023 revision spreadsheet. Okay, I got it. I got it now. So let me name it practice 1 CSC Co. Remember, you should not work in Microsoft Excel. Practice in the exam software. Okay. Assuming that CSC Co keeps to its agreement with Encompass Health, calculate the shortage of beta, the resulting optimum production plan, and the total profit for next month. Friends, I'm calculating 6 things. Sorry, 3 things for 6 months. What people don't do well is that they start calculate the shortage of beta, so they start working on the calculation of shortage of beta. No matter how good you are, if you start like this, you're going to go through a long process. And by the time you finish the process, you're going to tell yourself you are done. You probably would have done a good job. Shortage of beta, get 2 marks. But if you don't do the rest, you have just scored 2/6 on that requirement. That is the good candidate scoring 2/6. That's a failure. So I'll say shortage of beta. Then I'll say resulting optimum production plan. Then I'll say total profit for next month. So at least I am kept on my toes that I've got to finish everything and score minimum half of the 6 months. Now, let me see what is happening. CSC Co is a health food company producing and selling 3 types of high energy products: cakes, shakes, and cookies. All right, those are the products. Shakes are the newest of the 3 products. But before then, see, this said this scenario relates to 5 requirements. This section of the scenario relates to requirement A. So this section, I'm going to use this section only to answer requirement A. Shakes are the newest of the 3 products and were first launched 3 months ago. Each of the 3 products has 2 special ingredients sourced from a remote part of the world. The first of these, Singer, is a super energizing rare type of caffeine. The second, Beta, is derived from an unusual plant believed to have miraculous health benefits. So we use 2 ingredients, Singer and Beta. CSC Co's projected, what's that? CSC Co projected manufacture costs and selling prices for the 3 products are as follows. For each of the 3 products, the expected demand for the next month is 11,200, 9,800, and 2,500 respectively. The total fixed cost for the next month are $3,000. CSC Co has just found out that the supply of beta is going to be limited to 12,000 grams next month. Prior to this, CSC Co has signed a contract with a leading chain of gyms and Compass Health to supply it with 5,000 shakes each month at a discounted price of 5.8 per shake, starting immediately. The order for the 5,000 shakes is not included in the expected demand levels above. I'm asked to calculate the shortage of beta. We're getting some feedback from somebody. Is this something that can be controlled? Oh, this, I hate this about. Oh. Okay. So planning is very important, friends. How do I find a shortage of something? I'll compare what is required with what is available. Is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. So that when what I have falls short of what is required, then there's a shortage. I am making products called cakes, cookies, and shakes. What I require can be broken down like this. What I require to make a unit of each product. Friends, all eyes on beta. Beta is being bought at $1.5 per gram. And to make a cake, we need $0.75. We need to spend $0.75. So how many grams are there? I've got to divide $0.75 by $1.5. That tells me that I need 0.5. Let me do that again. $0.75 divided by $1.5. Yeah, so I need 0.5 grams to make a cake. Let me repeat the process for cookies. I need $0.3 divided by $1.5. I need 0.2 grams. And for shakes, I need 1.5 divided by $1.5. I need one, how do you call it? 1 gram. Now, the number of units to make for each of the 3 products, the expected demand for the next month is $11,200, $9,800, $2,500. So what I need to make this are this times that. I need that grams. The quantity required in grams is that. The question says, assuming that CSC Co keeps to its agreement with Encompass Health, CSC Co has just found out that the supply of beta is going to be limited to 12,000 grams next month. Prior to this, CSC Co had signed a contract with a leading chain of gyms, Encompass Health, to supply it with 5,000 shakes at each month at a discounted price of 5.8 per shake, starting immediately. The order for the 5,000 shakes is not included in the expected demand levels above. So what if? What's that? Is it shakes? What if shakes to supply it with 5,000 shakes? So what if shakes for the contract also comes in that you need to supply 5,000. And shakes, you need 1 gram. So you actually need 5,000. So in all, the quantity required to fulfill all of the demand, including the contract, is the sum of all of this. But question says, we expect to have 12,000 grams available. So if you're going to have 12,000 grams next month, but you require 15,060, clearly there's a shortage of beta. That's likely will give you 2 marks. That calculation likely will give you 2 marks. If you're going to do all of this in section C to get 2 marks, well, I think that is quite unfair. It's very small. But the good part of it is that because it's section C, it's not the 3,060 grams that is marked. It is the build-up to it that is marked. So unlike section A, you can still score some partial marks for this. So that should give us a little of comfort. All right. What's the resulting optimum production plan? What's the rule? You've got to get a contribution per unit, focus on the beta required per unit to make each of the products, cakes, cookies, shakes, and then the shakes for the contract. You require that, you require that, you require that, and you require that. So the emphasis is on the beta. How much contribution per unit is each of the products giving us? To be switching between sheets is no joke, guys. You are not switching between sheets in the exam, so you don't have a problem. Contribution is selling price minus variable cost like singer, beta, other ingredients. Oh, sorry, contribution per unit is given to me. Why am I wasting time? 2.6, 1.75, 1.2. All right, it's given to me already, contribution per unit. For the shakes, for the contract, we'll give it at a discounted price of 5.8. So we're not going to sell at 6. So we are going to lose 0.2. I want to do it like this. 1.2 contribution minus the 0.2 we'll lose for selling it at 5.8. Revision. What did we study? Single limiting factor. Calculate contribution per unit of the limiting factor. So I'm calculating the contribution per gram of beta. Contribution per unit divided by beta required. Use computer to your advantage. Scroll through. Drag through, Then you rank the products. 8.75 is first. 5.2 is second. 1.2 is third. 1 is fourth. Based on this ranking, you're going to say Peter available. Question says 12,000 grams. grams. First product to make is cookies. Let me center this things here, so I'm sure I'm doing the right thing. First product to make is cookies, but the question preamble is, assuming that CSC Co keeps to its agreement with Encompass, an agreement, a contract must be fulfilled, although it ranks last. So I'm going to produce shakes for the contract first. The contract needs 5,000. Each requires 1 gram. So friends, I'm going to need 5,000 grams. Remaining 7,000 grams of the limiting factor after the contract has been fulfilled. What was ranked first will now follow. Cookies. The market wants, demand for the next month is 11,200 cakes, 9,800 cookies. The market wants 9,800. Each cookie requires 0.2 of a gram. So you'll be using 98 times 0.2, 1960, leaving you with 7,000 minus 1960. The next product to make is second, cakes. The market wants 11,200 cakes. Each cake requires 0.5 of bitter. So I'm going to need this times that. No. I don't have 5,600. All I have is 50/40. So I'll work backwards and say I cannot make 11.2. I've got to make 50/40 divided by 0.5. I've got to make 1080. Let me answer the question. Optimum production plan. Is that, please insert columns and rows. It's not possible in the exam software. So practice so you know what to do. If I was doing it there, what I would have done would be to insert something after typing a few things, and I realized that I need some space between this and this. I would rather highlight, Control X to cut, pull it down, Control V to paste so that I have space there now. In the exam software, you cannot do insert columns and rows. That's why I didn't want to do it in Microsoft Excel, but you know the limitation, that's why I'm doing it there. So optimum production plan is that shakes for Encompass Health contract, make all 5,000 units that is on the contract. Cookies, of course, for the market, make 9,800. And cakes, make 10,080. The other product, whatever the name is, we cannot make it at all. Then the next part of the requirement, total profit for the next month. Total profit is going to be made up of, if I take the products I'm making, shakes for the contract, cookies for the external market, and cakes for the external market. Contribution per unit, I calculated those already to be $1. Cookies, 1.75. Cakes, 2.6. If I multiply by the number of units at the optimum point, 5,000. Cookies, 9.8. Cakes, 10,080. The total contribution for the month is going to be per unit times the number of units dragged along and summed up. I'm going to take out the total fixed costs. Question mentioned total fixed costs for the next month to be 3,000. Once I take that out, my total profit is contribution minus fixed costs. I believe that should also go for 2 marks. I hope you agree with me that I started well. I put down the headings for the things I was asked to do. Total profit next month, resulting optimum production plan, shortage of beta. Under exam condition, if you don't plan before you start working, you are likely to be answering only one part of it. And you'll be, even though you do well on that, you'll be failing the requirement. Any questions, guys? I will not be surprised if there's somebody here who is thinking in his or her mind, how is he able to go about all of these things? Well, the answer is practice. I have practiced this many times. If you practice also in the exam, you can do this within time. If you don't practice, no matter how good you know the syllabus, it becomes difficult to do. You've got 12 days to your exams. You can still do a lot within these 12 days. Okay. Any questions, guys?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Please, can you go to the question side?
Yeah, this is a question here. I can go up and down if you want.
So the ingredients.
Yeah.
We were giving cakes to be 0.75.
Yes.
That is in dollars.
Exactly.
And the per unit is also in dollars.
Yes. You are paying $1.5 for a gram. And to make cakes, you spend 0.75. When I was in primary school, my teacher told me, my math teacher, 20 divided by 5 means how many 5s are in 20? Another teacher said, how many times can 5 go into 20? Those were the expressions. So how many $1.5 are in 0.75? So I divided And that tells me I've got to use, let me show my on-screen calculator. You see, 0.75 divided by 1.5. It means that I'm going to use the 0.5 of a gram. So if you use half a gram times, and you are buying a gram for 1.5, that translates to the 0.75. That's a very tricky management accounting information that people are not able to get their head around. So how many 1.5 times 0.75? So I need to divide $0.75 by $1.5, so the dollars cancel out to give me the number of grams in there. And I'm talking about the usage of grams and the availability of grams that creates a shortage or excess. So go to do that division. Are you all right with that?
So the calculation is good, but
$0.75. So okay, forget about the 0.0 point. Let me tell you this. If somebody gives you information that if you go to the marketplace, you buy tomatoes at Ghana cedi 20 per paint bucket. That's the price given to you. To make the soup or the stew for the gathering of whatever, tomatoes will cost you 2,000 Ghana cedis. You can work backwards to find how many paint buckets of tomatoes you are using to feed the gathering. If I work backwards and divide 2,000 Ghana cedis by 20 Ghana cedis, Ghana cedi divided by Ghana cedi cancels out. I've got to buy 100 paint baskets of tomatoes in order to satisfy the demand to feed that population. So I've worked backwards. Ghana cedi divided by Ghana cedi gives me 100 paint buckets. So if I go back and tell you that I bought 100 paint buckets, or I'm supposed to buy 100 paint buckets, paying 20 Ghana cedis for one, that translates to the 2,000 Ghana cedis. So that division is very critical to know the number of grams in there. I don't know if it's this class or when I was teaching somebody recently. We met problems like this. Same thing you are seeing. All right. Doesn't look too beautiful, I know. Spend some time, think about it. And if you go to practice this question again, you do it, and then you should be fine. You should be fine. Okay, any more questions, guys? Time is not our friend. It's
so my second question is how we added the additional this thing.
The Shakes contract.
In the solution.
For the Shakes contract, it is because the preamble of the question says to you, before the preamble, it says to you that apart from the demand for the market, from the market, 11,200 cakes, 9,800 cookies, and 2,500 shakes. Apart from this, we also signed a contract with a gym to supply them 5,000 shakes a month. But this was not included in the original demand numbers given to you. Then, having told you this, it goes on to say, assuming the company keeps to its agreement with Encompass Health, calculate the shortage of beta. So if the 5,000 for Encompass Health was not included in it, but you've got to calculate the shortage based on including it, then you have to include it in your calculation. You're supposed to feed 3 groups of people. You were given resources that were needed to feed the 3 groups of people. Then you were told that, oh, another group that belongs to your dear mother's family, you're supposed to feed them, but you didn't include them in the contract before going to the market. And they're asking you what's the shortage of the material. You got to include them now and say, if I supply them also, what will happen to my availability of materials? So that's why we needed to include them so that we have a full picture of everything that we need, including the supply to the gym. Including the supply to the gym. We need 15,060. Now, good news is this. Let me tell you this. This is the reason some people will score 75%, some will score 51%, but both have passed. So you might not have included it, which means that your final answer will be wrong. But in section C, final answers are not marked. So you can still score 1/2 for a job done, or even 1.5/2 after you've not included this. And because you've shown your workings for this, everything you do here might be wrong, but you can still score 1/2. So somebody will score 50% and say, I'm lucky. You are not lucky, you have passed. Just like somebody who scored 75, you are not lucky, you have passed. And somebody will say, I scored 49. ACC could have added just 1 mark. No, they will not add it. There was something you could have done to benefit from own figure rule that would have given you that 1 mark to push you from 49 to 50. You did not do it. So you probably didn't get that right, but it's not a problem. You will still pass the requirement and pass the exams. It is in exam sessions A and B that absolute accuracy is expected. In exam session C, this final answer 3060 in the marking guide may not even attract a mark, but it is this build-up that attracts the marks. In the build-up, you didn't do this. Okay, fair enough. You will not score 0 for the calculation of shortage of beta because the final answer is incorrect. You will not score 0. Okay, friends, time is up on the clock, my Zoom clock. Let's check out and come back and do the last round of 40 minutes. Because of your work time, we cannot do a complete 40 minutes, but let's see what we can do to finish the question on risk and uncertainty here. So let me see you soon.